All right, guys. So, I hope you have as many notes as I do because that was power packed with not just individual advice on how to handle rejection, but basically how to live an amazing life. That that was crazy. A-Rod is an amazing human that got knocked down multiple times and got back up, and he went through a bunch of those. So, Chad, share with us the notes that you took down.
Man, first of all, I love baseball. I mean, baseball is such a great analogy to what we do with It Works because, if you think about it, all these people would prefer to watch the game than be in the game. Because when you're the one in the game, you're the one taking the risk, right? You're risking your reputation, you're risking. Can you imagine getting out? I mean, all the players that get out 7 out of 10 times are multimillionaires. Like they're the best of the best, and they fail 7 out of 10 times their whole entire career, like up to bat, and they don't get on base. Like they get the boos and they get and God forbid they go like 3-4 days in a row without getting a hit, because then the people start really coming after him, right? Like, get him out of here, bring in the new guy. You know what I mean? So there's a constant massive pressure. And while we are going through this, I just kept having this thought, Joel, and I think this will help everybody, is that in baseball, you need to have like a certain talent. That's why everybody can't make it in professional sports. But what I found in our industry is that anybody can make it, like anybody can make a cake, right? And so if you're going to make a cake, all it takes ingredients, and it takes putting the ingredients together the right way. And now when you first make a cake, it might be not turn out so well, right? Because you might have used a little too much of this and not enough of this, or even forgot an ingredient. And so you throw all this together and you taste it, and your kids look at you like you're crazy, and you're like, oh, not good. But the key is that you just keep going, and it gets a little better, and it gets a little better. And once you get the ingredients and you get the dials turned in right, then you can have a great tasting cake, and you can have an amazing business. And with It Works, it's just you got to give yourself the time to make the cake correctly with the correct ingredients. So I've got a few things that he said, and man, I feel like this is one where you could just take someone through this as like a training video and just say, here's the 5 points. As long as you get these dialed in, you're going to make a great cake, and you're going to go as far, you're going to hit all your goals, and It Works, like every single one of them. So a couple things he said is work on the fundamentals, right? Network marketing only has a few fundamentals. Like we all know, we need to build our list. We have to continue to find people to talk to. And then we have to talk to them. And then we have to follow up with them. And then we have to close them. And then we have to teach our team to do the same things that we just learned and that we just did. And that's really it. That's the fundamentals. The details in that, like where do you find the people? It doesn't really matter. I mean, you could pick Facebook and you find all your people on Facebook, and you can make a huge business. You could say, I'm just going to meet my neighbors, or I'm going to go out and about. Not right now, because social distancing, you can't really do that right now. But you could do that. There's people killing on TikTok right now. They're finding a lot of distributors on TikTok. And so it doesn't really matter. The details don't matter. What matters is the fundamentals, and that you're doing the things daily that matter. It's kind of like getting healthy. If you want to lose 20 pounds, it doesn't take a rocket scientist degree. It's like, hey, I need to burn more energy and take it and consume less calories. That's the fundamental, right, of doing that. So fundamentals are huge. I love that he said heart, passion, will equals no limits. The win or die attitude. You can't give up attitude. And that's why when someone joins It Works, and the mental attitude you need to have about anything you're going to do in life is that if you're going to do it, you're going to do it, right? That's why we say give this a year and it'll change your life. We don't say give it 2 weeks, or give it 3 phone calls, or give it 1 month. It takes time, because it takes the time that you have to get involved with people like Joel and with Tay to learn how to do it correctly. Because there's a lot of things we could do that don't turn into steps to success, or don't turn into results. Like we can email all day long and just shoot emails out, 5 emails a day, and go, oh, no one's signing up. Well, that's not the correct activity, right? To just do that. Finding a mentor, again, Alex is just like bam, bam, bam. Vital and paramount, he said, to find a mentor and to be committed to the long game. That's why I remember before I got in this industry, I had never thought about like a 3-year goal or a 5-year goal. I started hearing that you could totally and radically change your life in 3 to 5 years, but I was like, I want to change it tomorrow, you know, but you have to be committed to the long game. You have to start thinking, to get here where I really, really want to be 5 years from now, who do I have to become to actually get there? What is my daily routine? How do I need to change my daily routine to put the disciplines in to ultimately get there? And it not be a question, to know that I will get there if I just make these changes now and commit to the process. So that was another one I had. Out of the box thinking. Oh my gosh. I love this industry gives us such an incredible way to do out of the box thinking. Like, for example, today, if you're the leader of your team, and let's say you're a Ruby and you've got 5 distributors, you could just go, you know what? You just realize no waitresses have a job right now, right? I mean, I don't know anywhere where you can sit down and eat anything and get served by a person, because they're not within 6 feet. The minute they hand you water, you're like, get away. You know, I got to spray my hands and wash them again, right? You just came that close. So what we could do, you could just go to your team and say, hey, here's what we're going to do. We know right now no waitresses are working. So we're going to go out and we're going to do a team campaign to go recruit waitresses. You know, we're going to focus on waitresses for the next 3 days. Let's go. Let's see who can recruit the most waitresses. Let's talk to 100 waitresses over the next 3 days. And then the next 3 days after that, you could say, teachers. We know teachers are successful. I mean, look at some of the ambassadors, what they used to do, and go, let's go get some of those people on our team because we know they need this right now. So it's out of the box thinking, right? It's we have a brand new girl that joined our team, and she's funny because she's like, I want to make movies with you guys on TikTok. And we're like, make movies on TikTok? You know, she's like, yeah, little commercials, you know, like 20-second commercials, be creative, have fun. And we're just like, why not? That could be fun. That could go viral. Who knows, right? So it's just using our brains and thinking. And I love that. And work on yourself. You know, we've heard this so much because self-confidence is huge. You can tell that self-confidence just oozes out of Alex Rodriguez. And it's because he's the things that he's forced himself to lean into through life. Like his perspective of no, I love that. He said no is like fuel for him. You know, I wrote it down somewhere here, but basically he said it's one of his favorite things. The word no is the best vitamin and energizer. If you think of no as something you don't want to happen, then you resist putting yourself in a position to hear no, right? You're like avoiding it. You're constantly going, how can I build this business without getting a no? And you're trying to figure out these roundabout ways when all you got to do is lean into the no, change your mind, start thinking a no is the best vitamin and energizer like Alex does. And then you're just like, wow, you might get more no's than all of a sudden in a day than you used to get in a week. And what does that also mean? It means you're going to get more yeses in a day than you used to get in a week. So the last one I'll share here, because again, there's so many I could just go through. Doing things others aren't willing to do. Ed said this. You know, he said he knows, and here's what you should know. If you're willing to do things that you've never done before, you'll get things you've never gotten before, right? If you're willing to do things if you're doing things others aren't willing to do, then you'll get what others or you have never had before, right? And I love that concept and that idea. So if we could all just kind of wake up in the morning and go, you know, I'm going to do something today I've never done before. I'm going to lean into success. Start thinking, what do successful people do? You know, I love the ingredients, and I'll sum this up with the cake. You know, I said the cake. There's certain ingredients that every single successful, like I'd say triple diamond or above in It Works Global, there's certain ingredients they all have. They are willing to work, right? They have a burning desire, and they're teachable. Willing to work, burning desire, and teachable. Man, you give me someone that's 18, straight out of high school, don't know nothing about nothing, wet behind the ears, but they're willing to work, they're teachable, and they have a burning desire. That person in a year will be massively successful. So I could go for another hour, Joel, but I don't want to take up all the time. But I know there's like 17 other awesome points that I missed, so I saved some for you guys.
I totally appreciate that. So we'll go ahead and throw it over to Tay. Now, Tay, being a former professional athlete, I know you were eating this up. So you probably have like a whole book full of notes on this one.
Yeah, man, had so much. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I grew up playing baseball, and it was always my number one sport. My family is baseball, softball family, and I actually had the opportunity to play after high school, but I just chose football. So for me, growing up, I was Alex Rodriguez, like huge fan. Me and my brother, that was one of the guys we tried to imitate. We tried to do things that he did. Many times it didn't work out. But we tried it anyway. So he always inspired me from just a baseball standpoint. But today, I think he said a couple things that just made me a fan of him as a business person, as a man overall. And I think the number one thing that he said that is like something that, I think we can all take and understand, like it's not the skills that you have. It's not necessarily, like he said, it's not my IQ. He says, I have a world-class work ethic, and I have a black belt in resilience. And like Chad always say, like your attitude determines your altitude. And I think that's things that you have control over. And I think for me, seeing everything that he's been throughout his career and seeing where he's at today was made me just more of a fan of him. So it was 4 points that he shared that really stuck out to me. Well, it was a lot. I had to narrow it down where I can go all day and night. So I'll just share 4 things that really stuck out to me. The first thing that he said, turn crisis into an opportunity. He said, use this time to prepare yourself for what's to come. Prepare yourself for what's gonna happen after this. He said, double down on your skills. Read the books. Do the things that's necessary. Like Chad said earlier, like work on the fundamentals. Get down the basic things that you need to do in order to grow yourself and also grow your business, as well as grow your team. So just take this time and just look at it as an opportunity for you to be at home, but also for you to do the things that's necessary for your growth and also for the growth of your business. And the second thing that he said that we've heard John Maxwell say, we've heard Zig Ziglar say as well. He said every day add value to others. He used the example of Magic Johnson. He said one thing I love about him was he was always looking to pass. He was always looking to assist others. So I think you just have to have that attitude, like John say, like every single day you have to figure out ways to add value to other people. And I think if you do that, like the quote that Zig Ziglar said, if you will help enough people get what they want, then you will always get what you want. So I think sometimes you just have to be others focused. He said when you're feeling Ed said when you're feeling helpless, do something that's helpful. And I think as you do that, it turns things from looking at your situation to open up your eyes to bigger things, and you don't have time to focus on the fact that you lack in what you have, and you start giving out of the abundance of the things that you have. So that really inspired me a lot. And just the third thing that he said was when he was just giving examples of all the like, dude, I was excited for the game of baseball, and I haven't been excited for a while since I played because I can't literally watch it, but I can play it. He said, do things that are disruptive. He just gave out all the ideas of the things that baseball should do and use this as an opportunity to grow. Like when he was talking about put the cameras in the batting cages, put it on the umpires, mic up the players, like put cameras on the bases. That was like giving us the details of the behind the scenes. So when I think about when you say like be disruptive, be innovative, use your social media platforms to be disruptive, to be innovative. Show people how you're actually building your business. Show people the fun that you're having. Show people the things that you're doing that's besides just posting and ask people to join your team. Like show them what it actually looked like to be on your team. Show the Zooms that you're having on your team. You don't have to take boomerangs. I know a lot of people do that. Show them the things that you're doing behind the scenes so they can get a look at, it's not just you joining our team and being by yourself. Like you have a team that's willing to celebrate you. You have a team of people that's willing to support you and just continue to come alongside you as you build the things that you want in life. So that really inspired me. And just the last thing, and I think we talked about, Craig Groeschel talked about the same thing on Tuesday. So if you hear Tuesday and then you hear somebody else just successful on Thursday say the same thing. Craig Groeschel said list the top 3 things. And then he said, I have the 10 things that I make sure I do every single day. And then me and Joe said, do the 6 things. What is your 6 list? So I think you have to really just take these things and actually apply it. Like he said, like when you get this, he said, take the small wins and use them as big wins because they add up to big wins over time. So you have to literally sit down and get your 6 list out. Like Joe said, post on your team page, post on Facebook, post, ask people to be LCs, ask people to be DTs, and then follow up and do these things every single day. And I think as you do that, what you're going to come to understand, like, these are the fundamentals of building your business. If you do these fundamental things every single day, there's no way you shouldn't succeed. There's no way you shouldn't be continuing to rise in ranks within this company. So I think if you can just take not the advice, but take take what he shared with us and actually go out and apply and just take and use these things to celebrate the small wins, I think you would start to see things in a different light. And I think me personally, I think you'll just have more fun and you would stop taking yourself so seriously and start to enjoy the work that you're doing because you're actually, seeing these wins on a daily basis. So I hope this helped you guys. I actually have to go back because there was just so much within this that was just so good to me. It was like, man, I wish I can share it all, but I have to leave some for Joe. So that's what I had, man.
Awesome. I appreciate it because I was running low. I was like, gosh, you guys hit all the amazing points that I had. So I'll just have to make some stuff up, I guess. I love what he said at the very beginning. You can't just have your career because that is currently failing you right now. Think about that. How many people had a lifelong plan that has instantly stopped right now? He said, you have to use this time to be a separator for you. This is the time that's going to cause you to separate yourself from the pack. So make sure that you double down on your skills. But I want to add this next step in there too. If you're going to double down on your skills, triple down on using and applying those skills that you've learned. Preparation is important for building your self-confidence. Most people are afraid to get up at bat because they're afraid of swinging and missing. But if you've been in that batter's cage, swinging and hitting, swinging and hitting, swinging and hitting in the practice session, you're ready to crush it when it's game time. So be process-driven and focus on the fundamentals of your business. We tell you guys time and time again, it's not flashy. It's steps to success. Going Ruby. We sound like broken records. Why? Because the fundamentals are what get you to become successful. Win or die. Never give up. I mean, that was worth the entire time right there. If you just use that as your golden rule. Don't let your potential become your nightmare because of what you could have done if you could have done more. Also, that amazing statement of, if you're feeling helpless, go get helpful, because you can't be helpless and helpful at the same time. 2020 isn't the year for traditions. It's the year of innovation. Guys, we are going through what is going to probably be a 10-year fast forward in innovations, because people that have never had the time to be innovative now have the time. You may not have had the time to do things before because you were constantly busy. You had that 9 to 5 in the way. Now that 9 to 5 isn't in the way, start putting your ideas into actions and see what takes place. Anything disruptive, just let it fly right now, because you don't know what is going to take hold and become the new normal. You can innovate and grow during the down economy. Stay calm and look. There's more opportunities available now than there was just 6 to 3 months ago. That's huge. And then in the coming next 3 to 6 months, be aware of the ability for you to capitalize on new opportunities. I love this whole conversation about asking why, because if they said no and you just go on moving forward and you don't know the why, you can't learn the reason behind why people are telling you no. Maybe it has nothing to do with you, and that's great. Stephanie says it all the time. Guess what? When you're giving somebody a hot dog and you ask them if they want mustard and ketchup on it, some people just don't like mustard. It's not that they hate you, they don't like mustard. Well, if you don't ask them why they don't want to join you, you're going to sit there and you're going to take it on yourself like you're the wrong reason. They don't want to join you, which in actuality, they may not join because of their own fears. And once you find that out, you can do the feel, felt, found. I feel the same way. What I found out was that if I just took one step forward, I got closer to my success. Look at the motives of what it means to be a champion. I think that one was really important because, you know, like he said, before he was in the acquiring all the things, getting all the accolades, you know, being the me driven guy. And then when the calamity hit him, it took him the ability to take the magnifying glass inward and look and realize that it wasn't the way to be a champion. Like he said, he wanted to be a gladiator. He wanted to be the person. Well, he didn't talk about the other people on his team. Afterwards, he realized that it was more about the other people and what he could offer them. And that's what radically changed his life. Then I have this one starred. Love on your children intentionally and in public. I also have down here because he said it again. So repeat, focus on the fundamentals. You know, if somebody's saying it twice, man, you should probably do that. And what are our fundamentals? Contacting, asking people to join, and follow up. So I'm going to add another book to your guys' amazing library that you guys are building. And this one goes over those focusing on the fundamentals. It is called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. Guys, if you break down what we do at It Works to the lowest common denominator, it's sales. So if you want to be the greatest salesperson in the world, might want to learn from the one that wrote the book on it. If you're consistently willing to do what others won't, you will have the life others won't. I believe that because you're up in the morning doing your personal development, that's going to be one of the things that catapults you into that other life. And momentum is a magnifier. Make sure that you're stacking all the small wins. If you don't have your gold star chart and you're giving yourself gold stars, you can't stack the small wins because you don't know that you're small winning. So make sure that you're tracking that so that you know that you're stacking wins on wins on wins, which causes the momentum, which causes to basically magnify everything and cause everything to be better. And then the final statement that I've got on here is have a master's in failing, but have a PhD in getting back up. Take more chances, get to where no is the greatest source of energy because it causes you to be one more step closer to being a champion. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go back and check out this video again of Ed Mylett and Alex Rodriguez because it was power packed and I'm sure we probably missed half the notes. So go out, make an awesome week. We'll see you guys again soon.